Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all have been doing well. Today, I'm sitting here and I wanted to talk about this Kong Studios Timebreaker Rose figure that they're doing with these three variants. Now, I'm going to try to break down everything that I can, in terms of the figures and what they'll come with and comparisons and price and all that kind of stuff. I'll try to give my best understanding of that stuff as possible, because I know that there are people who are kind of confused or just not sure what it's coming with or when it's coming and whatnot. I'll try to break it down as best as I can. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll try to just respond when I can. And yeah, let's just get straight into this. In the end, I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison between the demoniacal fit. You may not have seen it, and it's been kind of revealed for a while now, but we'll talk about that briefly at the end. So first things first, we got to acknowledge these new renders that have finally been released. So this is the first time we're seeing like the colored version of the render. I don't know why that went to the other one. And honestly, they look pretty good. The full, non-battle damage versions, I really liked how the colors pop out and all that good stuff. I like the folds and creases on the shirt. It's really interesting. So one thing to note on these is that it seems like they're going to try doing the joints hidden underneath, soft plastic gi or whatever. That is really interesting to me. Cyrus had mentioned that to me like a while ago, and I had to see it to believe it. But I mean, they're really going through with it, and I'm all for it, because if it works out, I'd love to see that more on some other figures, like a Goku, for example, having, the blue shirt can still be more or less like it is for Goku Black here. And then you can have the orange part of the gi be some soft plastic. And I'd really love to see how that kind of works out, because I've only seen that on the Imagination Works Goku. So I'd love to see it at this scale for 1/12. But yeah, that's a little detail in there that people may have missed. I don't know. But if you thought that's pretty cool, let me know. Anyways, so the design on these, just, again, spectacular. I love it. I love how the colors pop out. And one thing I'll note right now is I'm not sure if the tail is going to be this color. This isn't the final render, of course, so things will look a little different later on. But it could be pink, it could be brown, I'm not sure. But do note he is coming with a tail. I'm not sure if that's for every version or if that's just going to be for the Super Saiyan 3 battle damage version. We'll have to see. But moving on, here's a closer look at the battle damage version. I'm not sure if they're going to add any, battle scars, scratches to them, bruises, whatever. But just looking at the outfit, at least, it's great. I believe in the Super Dragon Ball Heroes anime, he didn't really have any battle scratches, I want to say. He was relatively, walking out of that fight, pretty okay for good bits of it. So, yeah, I don't think he really had any battle damage, but we'll see if they decide to add any to him. I mean, it would enhance the figure for sure. But looking at these faceplates, man, these things are going to be incredible. Like, a lot of people doubt that they're going to hold, like, the same look, and maybe at least, like, the flame effect might look a little off, when they actually print it out, because that converging colors of red to yellow and orange in the middle, I'm not sure how that'll look once they like print it out and it's colored and whatnot. We'll have to see. It could turn out fine, and I could just be, over exaggerating. But yeah, I think the faceplates themselves will turn out great. Briefly, I'll bring up the Super Saiyan 3 faceplates, and this is just one picture out of many. They turned out pretty well. I know a lot of people have their own quarrels with the hair and whatnot. Some people are fine with it, some people aren't. Some people are really happy with the faceplate, some people aren't. And that's fine. But I think relatively they stayed pretty true to the render. Of course, the renders are going to look a little bit more popped out and whatnot. But if you even just compare the Super Saiyan 5 faceplates up to this, of what we're getting here, for sure, I definitely think it's going to look incredible once we see in-hand pictures of this stuff somewhere in the next few months. Keep that in mind. There's not going to be any prototype shown for a decent little bit, so you will have to just be patient and kind of trust the process, which I think Kong is trying to push people to do by showing all of the prototype images of the Super Saiyan 3 Vegito and Goku. And I know that's not necessarily the best business practice of kind of just believe in us and the figure will be great, because you're basically taking the money and we just have to believe that it's going to turn out great. And that's not necessarily something ideal for everybody who, doesn't want to just waste their money on something that may or may not look good. But I will say, Kong has been improving this year. If it was last year's Kong Studios, I probably would say just don't buy it yet. Wait till it comes out to buy it. But since the Super Saiyan 5's release in January up to now, I've only seen great improvements from Kong Studios. So I would say I recommend pre-ordering them. If you're not interested in pre-ordering them and you want to wait till the stock, you can try to do that, but they have not said that there will be extra stock for these. These figures will have been made to order. So if you don't pre-order them, there's less likely chance you'll even be able to get one for any version. That's my biggest quarrel, and I'll talk about this in a little bit after I go through the other versions of this figure, is the quantity that they have available for these. But without further ado, let's just move on so we can get to that next topic. There we go. So here's another look at kind of the non-battle damage variant. There's two different non-battle damage versions. So the first one is going to be the SSJ1, SSJ2 version, and I'm not sure where the base head will come into play. 5K Toys did say that there will be an accessory pack included. I'm not sure if that's with all three or just with one particular variant. We will have to see when we get more information. But my theory is that it's going to be on the Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 versions, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, that's also something to think about. So this looks pretty good. There is many different versions of this exposed mask that we'll get into really quick. So there we go. Here is the battle damage version. You're getting 4 face plates, all exposed face, and 1 burning mask face, which again, pretty freaking cool effect. And I can't wait to see it like in hand. I kind of wish it was a little bit more like pink flames, I won't lie. Just to kind of go with the aesthetic of rose, I guess. And these are all the hands. Of course, you're gonna get that time ring. I'm curious to see how well the time ring pops out just at that scale too, because I mean it's a little tiny detail, and I want to see if it like fully looks like a time ring. I think the ones on the official and the Demonigal fit look all right, but not as prominent of a feature there. Here's the Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 that I was talking about. You get 1 exposed face, and then you get a partially exposed face, and of course same hands is going to be across the board. And here's the other variant of that non-battle damage version. You get 1 exposed face, and the other ones are partially exposed. So the theory that I was saying with this, the reason why I'm saying that I think it will come with Super Saiyan for the base head is because the SSJ3 variants alone can already go up to the $60-$70 range. You're getting the articulation, you're getting the design, and you're getting this big ass hair. That alone is probably going to run you in the $60 to $70 range. Now, this version could definitely be in the $50 range. There's no reason why it shouldn't. But if they decide to throw in an accessory pack, I can see them justifying bringing it up to $60. So that's kind of my thought process when it comes to how they're going to do it, just to kind of keep all the prices in line with each other. Obviously, I would like it to just be kind of a free accessory pack. I mean, if you're not making a full figure for it, might as well just throw it as a bonus accessory for free. But such is life. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much my theory on that. So if you agree, disagree, let me know. Or what's your thoughts on how they're going to give us the base head and the full mask faceplate, because that's literally all it is. They don't really need to do a whole bunch of faceplates for it. Just 1 full mask, not battle damage or anything like that. And I guess they could do one that's cracked. You could do partially cracked before his eye part falls off, and then you can do a full, perfectly normal version. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this in terms of what's coming with what. That's my theory for the base head. Now, let's move on to this other topic really quick. So, quantity. Talking about the whole made to order thing. I think it's good and bad, that they can produce what they produce right now. It allows them to kind of get a figure out. It looks good. People like it. Then they move on to the next project. And they've been really good about going from one thing being done to the next, not staying and reissuing the same thing. And I'm going to say that for the Super Saiyan 5s, that's just more of a popularity thing. I think people really, I think they're a little overrated in terms of articulation and all that stuff. Is really you're just buying it for the hair and that it looks cool with that. That's pretty much it. They're not an articulation piece, in my opinion. You got to do some custom work to make them better articulated. You got to use fodder pieces from SSJ4 or Gohan or whatever. Somebody who has more legs that can redistribute that weight. But that's pretty much my thought on that. Is it allows them to, produce more things quickly, so they can keep moving from project to project without necessarily giving up and saying, oh, it's delayed or it's not coming anymore, or just going dead silent on it. They dedicate themselves to a project and then move forward. Now, it would be great if somewhat they could do what Demoniacal Fit does in terms of how much quantity that they can push out to other retailers. Because right now, as far as I understand it, it's just 5K Toys and different AliExpress shops that they send their figures to. Or maybe it's just 5K Toys, and 5K Toys has their own AliExpress shop. I don't know how that works. But I definitely don't see those figures available too much outside anywhere else. So that is the give and take with that. And hopefully in the future, 5K Toys maybe can push Kong into making more stock available. Because again, these things can fall just on bad days for people not being able to pick these up, or people just getting into it for the sake of, wow, third parties are cool. I just found out about this. Now where can I go to buy them? Who's the trusted source? Who's the trusted developer? People just now getting into stuff are going to be so confused and not have any idea where to go for stuff. And it's a confusing ballpark getting into it. Trust me. So there is that whole thing. But that would be my recommendation to 5K Toys is work on it, work with them and see if they can provide more stock going forward. Not necessarily, making it such a tight deadline like that for people. Because the fact that these things would sell out in less than an hour, is bonkers. It means that they are popular for sure, but it also means that there's not necessarily enough stock to go around. So that is my issue with that. And if you guys have other thoughts on that, let me know in the comments below. But to get into this final part of the review, or I guess review/discussion, I wanted to briefly show the Demoniacal Fit version. So this is their version that they were working on for who knows how long. This image is back from March of this year. So they easily could have been working on this since last year, right? And this is their first prototype that we've seen publicly, at least. So of course they've already got some hands printed and whatnot. I don't know why they couldn't get a clear shot of the body, but it is what it is. So as we know, it was going to be on a 2.0 body. I don't know if that is necessarily what people want this day and age at this point. Because I already see people complaining about the GT Goku that they're doing. People don't want that on that body because it's pretty easy to do a kit bash yourself, repaint, and make your own GT Goku or End of Z Goku using the Superhero Gohan body and the SSJ4 legs, and taking the skirt piece off of, one of Demoniacal Fit's Whiskey Gokus or something, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. It looks okay. I think the hair and faces or masks look cool, but the body is not necessarily as desired. And you can tell that they were going to do the soft plastic as well here, at least on the lower portions. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're going to continue to do it. Maybe they're going to try to redo it and utilize newer parts. But considering that they haven't, shown us anything for future Gohan or base Goku, I'm less likely to believe that they are willing to do that. I think they just want to get it out. So it could just be a random release like the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We'll have to see. But I will provide a fact here that Demoniacal Fit is capable of making 3.0 figures. It's possible. You can see it right here. This is not the first image we've seen of this Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Back in December, I want to say, they did show, the first tease for this Xeno SSJ4 Goku with updated engineering, and it looked good. I don't know what happened to it, why they just stopped, but this is from like April, I believe. And there's obviously some other stuff here. Yeah, there's a Xeno base Goku as well that they were working on. But for some reason, it's just no development updates have happened, and that's the biggest problem with Demoniac Fit is communication and updates. They just don't do it that well. But they definitely are capable of making updated figures. So yes, rightfully so. I think people are a little upset that it's like they're going back to those roots, but it's probably at the end of the day just easier for them to reutilize those assets than making whole new assets and trying to get that process jumping. But anyways, that's pretty much all I have to break down for these Kong Studios SSJ or Kong Studios Timebreaker Rose Goku Black Super Saiyan 3s and Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2. Oh my gosh, there's so many words, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, the breakdown, and if there was anything I missed or you want clarification on that I can potentially answer, let me know in the comments, because I try to scour for information like every day. So whatever I find, you will see on a community post, trust me. But anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave comments. Catch you guys later. Peace.